Hi, I'm Joe and welcome to the channel and welcome to another Inspired By video. In this video we're going to take on reggae kind of in a pop context. What I like to do is put a piece of music together and then I break down all the guitar parts for you in hopes that you can incorporate it in your own playing. Let's dive into the track and I'll break it all down for you. So this song first opens up with two acoustic tracks, kind of sitting on top of each other and dancing around each other a little bit. The chord progression is very simple. It's a C minor, to a G minor, to a B flat, to an F. Now instead of playing these traditional shapes, I'm doing something a little bit differently. I'm trying to use open strings in the playing of these chords. So as an example, instead of playing my C minor like this, I'm going to play the C, the E flat, and the G, which makes up the C minor triad with open strings. Well, I should just say one open string, the G on the top. And this shape works nicely because I can then just move over one set of strings and pick up that G minor. But again, I have basically the root here, then the third, and then the fifth on top. So it adds some continuity between the two lines. And the picking pattern is kind of... So I'm doing finger picking here, and I'm going down with my thumb, my first finger, and then my third fingers. And I'm repeating the first finger and third finger. So when I get to the B flat, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm not going to be playing the full triad. I'm basically just going to be playing the root, the D, which is the third, and then a root again on top, the B flat. And I'm basically doing the same strumming pattern. And when I get to the F, I'm going to take the same shape and just move it down one set of strings, not sets. And I'm going to be playing the F, the A, and the F here. And then it just repeats over again. So that whole part sounds like this. And that's it for the first acoustic guitar part in the intro. Now the second acoustic guitar part in the intro is basically doing the same chords, but we're going to play a higher version of those triads. So I'm going to be picking up here, when we look at this C minor shape, I'm just going to use the top three strings. And I switch my fingers around. So I'm basically playing the C, the E flat, and the G up here. And I'm going to start, instead of with the root note like I did here, I'm actually going to start with the second finger when I'm doing this picking pattern. So this picking pattern is a little bit differently. It's the second finger, first finger, third finger. Gotta lift the guitar so you can see it. So all I'm doing is the same chords, but I'm passing through the higher version of those chords. So basically, again, the C minor comes from this shape. The G minor, I'm just going to use the top half of that bar chord again. When I get to the B flat, I'm going to use this shape, which is basically the same part of the bar shape. And I'm just going to use the top three strings again. And the F, the top part, is just going to come from that F bar chord. And I'm going to again do the same picking pattern, which basically I'm picking the middle string first of these 3 sets of strings. And that's really it. So that sits on top of the first guitar part, this part, and what this does, it really makes the music dance around a little bit. The parts kind of move around each other, but they're playing the same chords. And what I try to do is I try to pan those guitar parts hard left and hard right, so it adds a little bit of separation to them in the mix. Let's grab an electric guitar and I'll break down those parts for you now. So unlike the acoustic guitar parts, for the electric guitar parts, I'm sticking to those traditional chord shapes. We're basically doing the C minor this way, the G minor this way, the B flat as a bar chord, and the F as a bar chord. Well, actually, these technically are all bar chords. And the pattern is very simple for this first guitar part. It's basically doing a thumb, no pick. For all these guitar parts, I've actually lost the pick, so we're just gonna, I didn't lose it, but I chose not to play with it. But we're gonna do basically a bass note, and then basically a kind of a pluck with these 3 fingers and plucking up. So the whole idea here is to lay down a bass note, and then on the upbeat, hit those things. And that's, hit those things. Hit those chord vamps. Or I should call them stabs. I'll call them chord stabs. And that's the whole thing here. Kind of keep your rhythm going with your hand, your picking hand like this. And you're going to be playing on the upstroke. So this is downbeat 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So I'm basically moving around with this whole idea of just playing off of the upbeats on this guitar part, and just fills in the gaps, and it actually kind of doubles a little bit the keyboard part that's happening in the mix as well. Now the second electric guitar part basically he's playing the same exact chords, but he's doing a little bit of a different strumming pattern. And for this, I'm using the top of the nail of my first finger to pick these up, and it's a... So for the third electric guitar part, I put a little bit of a distortion on, but kind of set clean, and I added a reverb that has some modulation on it. You can hear the tail. Well, I'm not sure if this microphone's going to pick it up well, but there's a tail on there, and there's a little bit of a higher octave. So for me, this song kind of really centers around G minor. That sounds like home to my ears. So I'm basically going to be staying in the G minor shape. Again, no pick. And I'm going to slide up to get to that D. And I'm hitting the G here. You'll notice there's a lot of slides that are happening in here, and that just kind of keeps things interesting. It's not as kind of boring to go. You can do that, there's nothing wrong with that, but to me, it adds a little bit more expression if you add some slides into these parts. To me, I guess it adds a little bit more of a vocal quality. So all you have to do basically is dance around that G minor pentatonic scale to come up with a little bit of an interesting melody to lay on top of this song. Now, if you don't want to recreate this song, no problem. In the description down below, I left you a link that you can use to download for free the practice tracks. There's actually 2 tracks. The first one is the full band, which has all the guitar parts in it. And the second one is no guitars. So basically, you can come up with your own parts and make it your own. Well, that's another video down for this Inspired By series. Hey, if you have any thoughts and ideas that you might like to see a genre or an artist in this series, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always open to your suggestions. And while you're down there, would you help me out? I'm really trying to grow the channel. Would you subscribe down below or hit the like button? These things do help me out, and I'm so grateful for your support. As always, I wish you a great day.